Welcome back to Earlybird Farms SC. Today we're heading to the Homesteaders of the Southeast Meetup. This was held at Croft State Park over in Spartanburg, South Carolina. It was a beautiful park and a beautiful day. We're trying to build community with other homesteaders and like-minded people. So y'all stick around and enjoy this video. And today I'm going to be doing a little public speaking at our first ever Homesteaders of the Southeast meetup. So there's going to be a lot of other people there. So hope y'all enjoy this video that I put together, and we'll see y'all when we get there. Alright, so we have arrived at Croft State Park here in Spartanburg, South Carolina, where we're about to have our meetups. We're going to kind of get things set up. I'm going to show you the campsite, or the shelter site. There's some bathrooms up there. There's a beautiful view of the lake down here. Alright, we got Will Schilling here from Dixie Meadow Farms here. We're going to ask him a few questions and kind of like some get to know you questions. So, Will, tell us where you're from.
Originally grew up in Edgemoor, South Carolina. Probably a whopping population of what, about 1,200 or so?
Oh, yeah. So you grew up in Edgemoor. Where's your farm at?
Farm's in Richburg, South Carolina. It's probably 15 minutes from Edgemoor, roundabouts.
Yeah.
Yep. So
I know that area really good because that's where I grew up in Fort Lawn and went to school there and everything at Louisville.
Yep.
Where'd you go to school at?
Rock Hill High. We were right at the Chester County line.
That's where I was thinking.
Cutoff.
So what's your favorite food to grow?
I like tomatoes. I'm a tomato man. I like the big old beefsteak tomatoes, tomato sandwich, BLT. That's the way to go for me.
And what's your favorite variety?
I like Cherokee Purple. Is probably my personal favorite, but I grow something different about every year.
Just try something different.
Yep.
So what about farm animal? What's your favorite farm animal?
Probably the sheep, because that's the ones that take the least amount to care for. Yeah. They're pretty. They do by themselves pretty good.
You had goats one time, didn't you?
Had goats. Really didn't care for them. They're good animals, but they just got on the porch, and I couldn't keep them contained with my setup that I have. So
the sheeps are much easier.
Yeah, sheep's an easy animal to take care of.
Okay. And what's your favorite season?
I like the fall garden. I don't have to go out there and sweat, and I think you can grow probably a bigger variety of things that you can grow in the fall. You're not just stuck with 7 or 8 things you can grow. You can grow about anything you want. Yeah. And that's my favorite.
What about what is your favorite thing about homesteading in South Carolina?
I like it because you pretty much can grow almost year round for the most part. You got a pretty dry time around probably from December, January, February, but any time after that you can grow something.
That's right.
Pretty simple. Yeah. You just can't do the cold stuff.
Well, Will, I appreciate it, man. Y'all check Will out. He's on Facebook.
Dixie Meadows Farm.
Yep. All right, so we got, tell us your name.
I'm Dave Bentley. It's my wife Ashley Bentley. We're Bentley Critters.
Okay. And so what part of South Carolina are y'all in?
We're in Jefferson, South Carolina.
Jefferson, okay. So they don't live too far from where I live, what, about 20 minutes?
About 27, yeah. Right
so
in the Sand Hills.
What do y'all do on y'all's farm?
Well, we're going for the self-sufficient homesteading life. So we've got plants, pastures, critters.
A little bit of everything.
Trying to build up a sustainable, functional farm.
Yeah. And did I read that you work at a veterinarian?
I did, yeah. I used to be a vet tech a while back ago.
And so y'all raise small animals too, right?
We have just about everything that you can think of. Reptiles, rodents, mammals, livestock.
So we've got rats, pigeons, quail, chickens, ducks, pigs, donkeys.
Then the reptiles, snakes, lizards, turtles, bugs. I like it all.
So what is y'all's favorite animal?
My horse.
Mine is probably our cows.
The cows?
Yeah.
And how many y'all have?
We have 3 cows.
Okay. Are y'all gonna try to go for like the milking and things like that too?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have 2 Holstein cows and a Jersey cow, and so they're both prolific milk producers. The Holstein cow gonna produce the more typical type of milk, and a Jersey cow gives you a kind of a buttermilk, a real high butter fat content in their milk.
Do y'all grow any produce or have trees or anything like that?
We got fruit trees. I mean, we're in the process of really trying to build out our pasture or our orchard. And so we've got various different fruit trees, persimmons, apples, peaches. We've got some tangerine sprouts that were grown from seeds. And pretty good sized garden, about a 1/4 acre garden for just the family, and a 1/2 acre cornfield that we're growing for livestock feed.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Well, how can people find you?
At Bentley Critters on Instagram, bentleycritters.com. And I'm Dirt and Sawdust on Instagram, and she's
Blessed Bentley Homestead.
Now I gotta ask you, where did the dirt and sawdust come from?
well. I love digging in the dirt, and I love making sawdust.
You like woodworking then?
I love woodworking.
Yeah, I like woodworking too.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the interview.
Thank you
Thank
for having
you.
me.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
This next homestead is Capone Homestead. What's really cool about them is these two people are building their own cabin. They've bought a cabin kit and they're building it themselves. And I didn't actually interview her, but I caught her at the end of her talking to us about her cabin, and I thought I would add some of this in here because it was very interesting.
Forever young.
Mentality. So yeah, you can, just trying to tell people you can do this on the cheap. Our windows, we found another Amish window company, wood windows, solid wood, $600 for our whole entire house for a brand new wood window.
That's awesome. That sounds like something I would love.
So that's what we're trying to just instill. Don't feel bad if you don't have one of these. I see a lot of, I call them foo-foo kind of, $50,000 tractor and $300,000 house. Well, not a lot of people are in that budget. We're retired.
Right.
It's like, don't give up. You can do it. You can, if we can.
Our tractor is 67 years old.
We're looking for one of those. We were like, we don't want new. We just want to be able to, right, and we do our garden, we did it by hand. So we're hoping that we can just encourage people to just not give up. If anybody says free pallets, go get them. I'm a hoarder.
Yes. I'm always taking junk
free
off
lumber.
websites.
Yeah, it's free lumber.
Absolutely.
So that's,
6 months to move.
I remember that.
it's exciting, and you can find land. People are like, you can't find land.
It's there.
It's there. You really gotta dig, and you really gotta have a little imagination. And we found 5 acres. It's got the power line, not a high tension, but a power line.
Oh, okay.
But through just a corner of it. But then when I started imagining it, I'm like, pasture, because you're allowed to fence it. You have to put a gate, but you're allowed to fence it.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
absolutely.
there's a cornfield, there's pasture. We're hoping to get pigs. That's why we're coming to your.
All right, so I got my buddy Shannon here with me. Shannon, what's your channel name?
Swamp Stalker Outdoors.
And what you like to do?
Fish, hunt, eat, everything. I'm pretty good with anything. That's why I'm here.
Yeah. But Shannon also used to have animals and
Oh, yeah.
garden. Talk about that a little bit. What all you used to have.
We just moved up here to South Carolina from Florida, and before we moved here, we're kind of going backwards. See, we had all the animals, the farming, and we done all that before we moved here. So now we're gonna slowly try to get back into it. But we've had rabbits, pigs, chickens, ducks, turkeys, quails, but I don't know, my passion is outdoors, so pretty much anything outdoors.
So in Florida, some of y'all know there's a lot of pigs there, a lot of alligators, and y'all like to do that kind of stuff too, right?
Oh yeah. We've hunted alligators and pigs and trapped pigs and deer, and
We have a lot of pigs in South Carolina too, there's some 20, 30 minutes from me. Actually, there's some in my county too. And we do have alligators in South Carolina, and there is an alligator season where you can, they call it hunting, but you're really kind of catching them and then kind of dispatching them. But people eat the alligator meat. It's really good. They make all kind of stuff out of it, and they say it tastes like chicken.
oh yeah, it tastes good, but I wouldn't say it tastes like chicken myself. But it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like chicken, but it just depends on
what part of alligator you eat too. So I mean, most people just eat the tail, but as you can see, I like to eat, so I try to get everything off of it that I can possibly get. So
Yeah. Y'all go check Shannon out. He does some catch and cooks too. Some different kind of species of fish that we don't have around here. What's that one you caught in that pond that time?
well, I did a video on armor catfish,
Armor catfish,
and chub
that's what I was
suckers,
trying to think.
and then I think that's been the most viewed video. And then also we did tilapia.
And I'm gonna leave you with this little note right here. The hush puppy. You like hush puppies?
Oh yeah.
So hush puppies originated in South Carolina. Many people don't know that. And originally they were called red horse bred. So I don't know if you've ever heard the term fish counts before, but fish counts were set up along the banks. There's a lot of restaurants called fish counts. There's a lot of people, guys would get together and fish, and they would catch fish, and then their families would come in. They would cook them for their families. Well, this guy lived on the Edisto River, and they would catch these fish called red horse fish, and they're basically like a chub sucker fish. They're really ugly. And so he invented this bread with cornmeal and salt and flour and onions, and he would drop spoonfuls in there, and they call it red horse bread. And they say that is the beginning of the hush puppy. So it's a little South Carolina history for you right there.
There you go.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, so will y'all introduce yourselves and tell us your channel name?
Oh, we're Hans and Shelley, and we're at the Farm with the Red Door. We've got a YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook, and a blog.
Okay.
So we're in Liberty, South Carolina.
Liberty, South Carolina. And so I know the answer to this, but just for the viewers, where are y'all from?
We're from Southern California. We were born and raised in Southern California our whole life. And then we moved here 7 years ago. And we landed in upstate South Carolina. We bumped around a little bit to one little farm, and then we landed on some raw property just a little over a year ago.
Did y'all surf?
I bodyboard, my brother surfed, and I was more of like a cyclist and go out up in the Sierras and backpack and do outdoors type
I like
thing.
that stuff too.
But
I like hiking and cycling and anything outdoors really.
there's definitely just some really good pluses about California. A lot of adventure, a lot of beautiful country. But when you're locked in the LA basin for most of your life, it's just nice to have breathing room now.
Yeah. So that leads me to the next question. What brought y'all to South Carolina? Like, how did you find out about it, and what made you decide here?
Well, when we first started this journey, we wanted to grow our own food and learn how to be more self-sustained. And we're looking at the map of the country, and we're like, okay, California's in a drought. We're running out of water. This side of the United States map, this side of the Mississippi, it's all green. It rains a bunch. Why not go that direction? And then on our journey, God led us to South Carolina. So
that's the important thing. Is praying about where you should land, before you're making a big decision.
Yeah, we definitely get the 4 seasons, but we're in 7A, so the growing is
You could have year round.
Season, yeah.
You could have year round if you did the right crops and you did cold frames and.
Yep. What is y'all's favorite plant to grow? Produce plant?
Well, we did really good on peppers and tomatoes last year.
We love to grow a year's worth of tomatoes, and I count them up, because there's so much that you need tomatoes for. So
you can make so much with tomatoes.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, you've got the paste, the sauce, the canned tomatoes, the hydrated. So probably as far as for use in the kitchen, I like tomatoes and peppers, and I'll just freeze the peppers whole. Yeah. Use them all throughout the.
What about animals? Y'all have any animals?
We have chickens. Right now, because we've only been on our property for the last year and a half, and it was just raw land, so we're having to develop infrastructure, so we don't want to get animals before we get our infrastructure. So we do have a corral with a little shelter that we took in a little miniature donkey and 2 goats that needed a home. They don't serve any purpose as far as bringing us anything, but they've been a great learning experience because it's a great stepping point before we get that dairy cow, before we get other animals, because then you're dealing with all the milk coming in. It's kind of like being able to learn how to care for livestock without having the production that it gives you. So you only have one learning curve. So
that's smart.
And
Yeah.
it has served the purpose of clearing out 2 acres.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
goats are doing their job.
But the chickens, they give us eggs and
It's fun, right?
yeah. So our next step will probably be pigs and a dairy
Yeah.
cow.
I heard him in our breakout session. He was
Yeah,
asking about
it
the
looks
pigs.
like we might hook up with that farm and get some pigs in July. Never know.
Well,
So-
tell us how people can find you on the internet.
So just go to the farmwiththereddoor.com. You'll find my blog there, and the same. It's my name. It's the same. My name's everything for my YouTube channel. I focus on bringing farm fresh food, and I'm bringing in parts of preservation and just homestead eating. So yeah, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and a blog. All the Farm with the Red Door.
All right. So, what's your name?
My name is Shannon Meyerinski, and my channel name is Meyerinski Family Homestead. We are currently living in between, so we travel to our property. We got a beautiful garden going. Hopefully we will be off grid pretty soon and be able to live out there permanently. I cannot wait till that day comes.
That's gonna be awesome.
It is. It is.
And what
It
part
really
of the state you're at?
We're in Saluda County.
Is that far from where we're at here?
It's an hour and a half.
Okay.
It's an hour and a half.
And are y'all originally from South Carolina?
I am. I was born and raised in South Carolina. My husband, he's from up north somewhere. I don't know. But yeah, so I was born. I'm originally from here.
And what so far? What has been your favorite item to grow? Produce, fruit, tree. What's your favorite thing to grow?
Strawberries.
Strawberry. Those are pretty easy too.
Yes, strawberries are my favorite because it keeps my youngest son busy because he likes looking for strawberries.
Okay.
And they're healthy to eat.
And let's see here. What about y'all? Have any animals?
We have chickens. At our house on the lake, we have chickens there. And I did do quail this past summer, and we harvested those, and those did really well.
That's something I'd like to get to. I like to get quail. I didn't mention that in your video, but I think quail would be pretty cool to have.
I cooked 6 quails one time because I figured that each person in the family would eat 1 quail.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had 3 left over.
Then you can make you some quail pot pie.
That does sound good.
Well, so how can people find you?
We are on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook.
All of those.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So tell us about your channel, who you are, and where you're from, and all that.
Hey, I'm Megan. This is my husband Kenneth, and we are living the height life. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and we're off-grid in South Carolina. We just teach a lot about living off-grid, homesteading as a family, and raising meat rabbits.
What's your favorite vegetable to grow?
Ooh, favorite vegetable. Do you have one?
Potato.
Potato?
That's a good one.
Potato.
And now, let's see some footage from Brownie, the Boykin Spaniel, Earlybird Farm mascot. Thanks for tagging along on this adventure. I hope you'll go and visit each one of these people that I've interviewed in this video. Also, if you're not subscribed to our channel, hit that little subscribe button down below that's about to pop up. Also, there'll be 2 videos that'll pop up right here. Check out one of those videos too. I feel like it'll be something that you'll like as well. Make sure you stay tuned. We'll have more videos out on Earlybird Farms SC, where the SC stands for South Carolina.